Well, I think we are live. Good evening to everyone. My name is Shelley Valecha, and I am here again to speak something very interesting related to education. And I hope our last conversation with Mr. Rizvi, it was a live show which you may have attended on our Facebook page, was interesting. Uh, Today, we are going to talk about something very interesting. While researching within last few days, I came across one of the documents which has been issued by the CBSE to the principals of the schools. It is titled as Letters to Principal. It is a very welcoming letter and a very positive change and a very positive suggestions which CBSE has written to the principals of the school. Now, it was interesting also to read those suggestions. However, whether schools are actually following these suggestions, and if they are, I'm sure it is going to be very interesting and very good for parents, teachers, students. And if they are not, then this show is about it. We want you to listen to us for another 8 to 10 minutes. I have made some points specifically so that I don't forget some of the points which CBSE has mentioned. These are some brilliant suggestions which have been issued by the authorities, and here it is. Now, we can, we all been witnessing in recent times that that the entire world is actually facing completely unprecedented crisis due to the lockdown, which because of the novel coronavirus. Now, social distancing has been one of the key components to fight the virus. However, it is also becoming a challenging situation for some social institutions. School is a social institution, and of course, it is also being affected because we cannot send our children to the schools, and therefore they are attending live online classes. The new session has already started for CBSE schools, and the suggestion by the CBSE authorities is that they should they've instructed parents and school principals to look forward for some enthusiast civil societies who are constantly working on some or the other interventions for ensuring the quality of the education. Now, the authorities have also highlighted that can school be engaged with some lateral solutions? Is there a benefit which can be reaped from the credibility around certain education institutes who deal with art, music, such as cinemas or quizzes, gardening, social informal setups, etc.? Now, of course, these are some welcoming solutions, as I said earlier. These are certain resources which parents can rely on. And it's good to see that, on CBSE, that the CBSE is trying to link the curriculum more explicitly and in a more meaningful way, to attach the content of the book with the real life example. Of course, student will be able to use community examples in a very valuable way. Now, this was the first suggestion which has been given. The idea is to create worksheets in the form of projects that can be done at home, certain activities that can generate curiosity among students, whether it's doing art or sports or some music integrated learning modules. The second important part, which the letter to the principals, which has been sent by the CBSE, is the one of the humongous task of covering the course curriculum. The session has already started, and the lockdown is also building, certain challenges, and families are also, rediscovering new bonds and connections, and how meaningfully these times can be utilized by parents back at home so that the syllabus can also be covered. Now, again, the idea is to make a shift focal, the focus from schooling only to schooling to school home collaborations for learning. Uh, the document talks about the relationship between human and nature, and nature, which means there are so many inquiries which children can develop if they look at such aspects of content in the syllabus. Now, this is the time, as the letter suggests, that this is the time to build synergies in the home environment and in the school environment. Uh, the CBSE wants the schools to take up a preparation in the form of a questionnaire for parents of students in every grade, which gently talks about understanding the child's unique abilities and interests. Uh, the questionable argument is, will the school willingly do it? Is it possible for a school to collect such a huge amount of data? If yes, then we are glad. We would like to know such school. It is time to appreciate schools and the teachers who can do virtual visits at home and can better understand the child's background, culture, context, etc. The teacher can also make the parent understand the outcomes of the learning through these virtual meetings. The document also talks about school counselors who can be engaged with parents online and for certain tips of parenting. We would like to know if the school where a child goes to, are they following such protocols? Are they helping parents and students in such situations? I'm sure they are, and we are thankful to schools and teachers who are making a brilliant effort to make this happen. Even as a remote solution. The third important aspect which the CBSE has mentioned is the collaboration of hand, heart, and head. Uh, we all know that the CBSE curriculum is mainly the head-centric rote learning curriculum, and can it be converted into more experiential learning? Can the content of the syllabus move beyond textbooks? Can the source of knowledge be some other instruments, such as the nature, the environment, the technology, tools and equipments, cultures, languages, value systems? Now, of course, the CBSE is asking schools to find out such resources and help parents and help teachers and help students to find what can be done best in such scenarios. As long as these fit in the curriculum mapping of CBSE, I think it is going to be a brilliant idea. As it is rightly said that necessity is mother of invention. Now, these are the times when CBSE needs to find out the problem of which it has been facing with its curriculum. That, as many parents have already told us, that most of the content is the book driven. Now it is time to move out of the textbook and see those content in the real life in the form of concepts and the context. It's the triangulation of all these things. The CBSE is trying to have a triangulation of schools, parents, and teachers who can collaboratively help students in such time. One of the important things which the document also talks about is the running kitchen in the house, which is an immense learning resource. Kitchen is like a lab, definitely. It is one of the most underrated and underused place for the child's cognitive and effective psychomotor development. So, if this is possible among parents, certain experiments under supervision can be done in the kitchen. The children will be able to understand more about sharing resources, more about the chemical reactions, more about hygiene, timing, nutrition, and many other things. Now, again, the idea is, can schools apply these concepts with the textbooks? Can schools give some constructive assessments later on when the lockdown is over, would it be possible for schools to give this as a homework during the summer break? And can these assignments as homeworks be utilized or be assessed as one of the formal, and it can carry, or if it can carry weightage, because students will be looking forward how these learnings can actually benefit them also in the curriculum. Another important aspect which I have noted in the document is upkeeping in the course in itself, which the document rightly says. Now, during the lockdown, we all know that the students are back at home. They have been helping parents in a lot of household activities, and therefore, the document explicitly says that the students will be able to learn the space management, time management, self management, and these things are very important, as the document says. These things are already imbibed, and such things can help students to actually gain insight about the environment and how to manage, how to conduct themselves in future, how when they go back to school, how time management and the self management can be brought in their daily lives. This is the time to utilize these things. The next point is one of my favorites, personal favorites, because it talks about our culture and our language during this difficult time of Corona pandemic. The entire world is looking at India, and there is a global interest in the Indian culture and the value systems. We are one of the nations who are fighting the coronavirus. I won't say very successfully, but much better than the other nations. And this is the time when the students must be given more insight about their culture, our values, our beliefs, and these culture makers are our own societies, and the culture distinctively adds flavors to our values in the form of arts, music, food habits, our language, our knowledge systems, nationality, and many other things, as they add the value to the cognitive arrangement of the child. Now, the idea is again to encourage the students to do projects on Indian art, languages, cultures, and therefore this will help in sharpening their understandings on the sustainable aspects of the culture. The one of the second last important point is to build resilience for the climate change. We all know, of course, that we are locked down and our need is restricted to our household items, and we are not overspending now. The shift has been from to from consumerism to contribution. We want students to understand that minimalism is one of the important aspects in life, and adopting minimalism could be a very good idea because it adds value in life. It clears up the thoughts, and it helps people to to create values of sharing and caring within themselves. Uh, this aspect can successfully be applied to subjects like economics and business management. Um, Important assignments can be created, for these students, and tasks can be given related to such activities, and how this can actually be used at a later part of the curriculum, or to attain certain topics in the curriculum. I mean, I personally feel that it is important lesson to be learned for business management student, and the bigger question is, can these students learn the ability of can there be marketing campaigns during such times, which can make practically possible for consumers and to influence them to adopt minimalism. So these are certain exercises, these are certain practical projects which can be given to the students. The last thing which the document from the CBSE talks about is the use of technology with among the students. Well, online classes are very much the new normal, and we want students to be more planned and teachers to be more prepared, so that there is less stress among the students and the teachers. And the schools are, given mindful advices on understanding not just academic needs, but also the emotional needs of the students. uh, it is very difficult for an adult to attend online classes, to do online work for a long number of hours. And I see many students, we have received many emails from parents uh, where they've mentioned that the classes, they go as long as 4 to 5 hours continuously online. And it has caused, and it is causing a lot of stress among the students. Now, the point is, can the classes be distributed in 2 times of the day? Let's say maybe in the form of batches that can help teachers as well to conduct lessons more appropriately, and to control the classes in within the online environment. And some part of the batch, or the later part of the day, can be utilized again for the online classes. Now, these are certain suggestions which are there, and whether they can be incorporated, well, let's just see. Another important aspect which I personally feel is students should be monitored online. We few days back, we have issued the guidelines for the online learning and teaching. It is there on our website, which is www.sev7n. And visitors can go, teachers, schools are most welcome to go to the website and download it from there. It's a free of cost, and we are not asking, I mean, it is not for sale. The document has been prepared to help as a giveaway, and so that schools, teachers, parents can make full use of it. In that document, we mentioned about how the students should be monitored, because there, of course, during the lockdown time and the online classes, there will be more of screen time. And now it is very important for parents to understand what is a good screen time and a bad screen time, because this is going to hurt. Parents must understand that, of course, most of the communication from the school is being maybe done on social media handles such as WhatsApp, Facebook groups, etc. However, we need to not encourage students to upload their personal information on such portals. And utmost care has to be taken by parents. They need to supervise, they need to see if the right thing is being done by the students. The last thing which I am going to talk about is one of the good initiatives which I personally noticed. The website which is mentioned by the CBSE, it's diksha.gov.in. Now, this website has complete list of online resources which parents can look from grade 1 to grade 12. All you need to do is go to this link, select the class, and look at the resources which are there. There are complete books which has been uploaded. And I personally have got certain messages from parents that the school is trying to click photographs or create a scan of the info of the entire book, and that is being sent to the parents and the students. However, I would urge parents and schools to once again visit diksha.gov.in, which is a very important portal. And because there is a lot of information, there is a lot of books. It has more than 80,000 curriculum linked content, and it is spread over in 15 languages. I think it's a great resource, and this is the time when these resources were created for such for an arrangement like this, when when the physical arrangement is not so good and the online arrangement is what we can depend on. So this is, I think, a very important website. One Parents should visit this. Lastly, viewers, I think I'm done with what I wanted to talk about this document. For our new viewers, I would like to tell that Sev7n is an education network, and what we do is we encourage parents to write reviews on schools so that other parents can read those reviews and utilize that information and data to make wise choices when they're selecting schools for their children. The schooling decision in India has been really private affair. We only rely on the information which is by our friends and families. And of course, the school is, when they publish newspaper advertisement, there is a limited information which can be passed on through a newspaper advertisement. It has a very low shelf life. The idea here is not to highlight the bad aspects of the school. The idea is to see the best practices which are being adopted by the school and how these best practices can be utilized uh, to encourage new parents to select the schools. Our portal is new, and if you think your school is not listed on our portal, please send us a message at info@sev7n. You can note the website address, which is there as a ticker on the video, which is www.sev7n.in. This is our website. Lastly, I would like you to take out 1 minute time. If you could click on the link which is there on the video. This is a small survey which we are conducting, and we want to understand the information which I have just shared with you, which is published by the CBSE for its school, how the schools are actually following this. We want to thank, on behalf of students and parents, I want to personally thank the schools and the teachers who are making a great effort in making this happen online. Of course, the teachers, they are occupied with their own personal household work, and it is very difficult for them to manage the house and the online classes. Yet they are doing a great job. I must salute. They are one of the key Corona warriors in this fight against COVID-19. And all the best. Please look forward to such more videos on Facebook. And I would urge again, just click the link, go to the website. It'll take a few seconds of your time. We are in a process of collecting this information about the schools so that we can give you more appropriate information when you're selecting the school for your children. Thank you so much. Be safe and be logged in back at home. Thank you.